guys, this is AvAngel, welcome back to the channel, and yeah, I still sound pretty sick, I realise, but we're flying aeroplanes regardless. We're back with the Got Friends Grumman F4F-4 Wildcat here on Molokai in Hawaii. Why? Because it's Pacific Islandy and it also has a Lexington nearby, the Miltech Simulations CV-22 Lexington, a wonderful period carrier from them. Available from Orbex and from their own website. Check it out, it's cheap. Go grab it, enjoy flying naval fighters, lots of fun. This is now out, by the way. I recorded a video on Saturday that I was going to, or Friday, I was going to use for you guys this weekend. But it sucked and I sounded too sick. I've had a horrible flu for the last week, so we are back and I wanted to do more with this aircraft after I did this initial quick review video. Take a better look in depth. I know a lot of you are buying it already, and you should. And if you're on the fence, watch the video and have a quick look at it with me as we go a bit further into the details of this wonderful little aircraft. As Flo decides to start itself up. Obviously batteries and stuff are all on already. I've got that button checked as it stands. Put my headphones on just to quieten things off a little bit here. We'll cycle through our fuel selector to the main tank. We'll just do this nice and quick. Get it operational for you guys. Put our drop tanks on here. We'll not put the bombs on as well. Wings are still folded. We'll knock those down. One of the things I really love about this aircraft is the sounds. And it's the little irrelevant sounds like this one that you're going to love. Wait for it. You hear that kind of twangy thunk, clunk, that big empty metal sound of the wings as they fold into place. There's nothing like it. The aircraft are very thin and echoey. It's kind of accurate. Okay, so we are ready to rock here. Throttle is good and cracked. Prop is in and good, and mixture is open. Fantastic. Our mags are set to both. We'll set those to off first, and we'll give the starter a quick whirl. Cool. Get the cylinders turned over a little bit. Give it another couple of blades. Let it turn itself over nicely, and we'll put the mags back on. And we'll prime the engine now. What we're trying to do is make sure if there's anything like oil or fuel settled in the cylinders, we want to make sure it is cycled around. It's not just sitting at the bottom of the cylinders, which is why you'll often turn over radials without the fuel on, without the mags turned on, just to kind of give it some time to really kind of spread all the lubricants and oils around inside. Because you have to remember, a bunch of these cylinders are upside down. Okay, that is primed. We're good to rock in that regard. So let's give her a quick kick on the starter. And she coughs to life. Wonderful. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We're good to go here. I'll turn that light off in my office so we can actually see what we're doing here. And, of course, these are our bomb releases. We'll take a look at those later on. But I love even the effect down there. What is that? Oh, that's my exhaust. Nice. The fact that I can see my exhaust through my little floor window, that is cool. That is nice. It's a tiny little detail, but it's a good one. Okay, oxygen pressure is on low. We're fine with that. So, parking brakes off. Now, this is, of course, with the realistic ground handling. So, it is skid steer, essentially. I have to turn it by differential braking. Easy when you've got two engines. Things that are DC3 obviously are differentially braked. But that is easy because you've got two engines. You can just throttle up one to turn more. You have to give it some nuance, but it does work. Now this, I recommend not stopping. Don't do this. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to hold a brake, and I'm going to throttle up. Not only is it too much engine for that, but you'll find in real aircraft, if you try and turn on a pivot on a tyre, with that tyre stopped, you will flat spot that tyre. Which means when you land and it hits that flat spot at higher speed, there's a good chance of it bursting, which is very bad for you. So what we're trying to do here is basically make sure the aircraft isn't fully stopped whilst we're turning on one of those tyres. So you have to be a little bit kind of careful and a lot slower and more predictive with your taxiing to make sure you don't do that sort of thing. There we go. Turn, 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 you piglet. Just nice and gentle. Yeah, just kind of encouraging it to keep that one wheel slower rather than it is being stopped. So we're going to hit the runway at Molokai. And we'll be able to get out of here. We're going to do a quick couple of circuits around the island, or a circuit I should say around this particular island, and then we'll head off to the Lexington just to south of Honolulu. to give her a kick. Now, when you're taking off in this aircraft, I'm not going to do anything to my yoke here, so watch this. You'll notice as we pick up speed and the tail lifts on its own, nothing on the controls, my hands are off the controls. It's rolling to the right, or left, sorry. It's rolling to the left because there's so much torque from this big engine, the 1830 radial, putting out 1200 horsepower. I've just had a tea delivery by my adjutant, so thank you very much. Sorry, he's talking to me about something. I don't know what he's talking about. What are you talking about?
Would you like something to eat with your tea?
Excuse me?
Would you like something to eat with your tea?
Would I like a biscuit? Yes, I'd love a biscuit. It was biscuits. I'm being offered biscuits. This is great. Huh?
Biscuit or cherry chocolate orange?
Oh, cherry chocolate orange. Yes. So, this is great. I never get in-flight service normally. I'm totally fine with this, though. Right. Gear coming up. That's Mr. AvAngel, in case anyone's curious.
Mr. in-flight service speaking.
This totally ruins the vibe of me sitting in my office in isolation, but you know what? I'll go for it. Cherry chocolate orange has been delivered to me. And tea. And go crinkle elsewhere. Go away. Crinkle elsewhere. Oh, and a biscuit. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, darling. I love you. Bye-bye. He's crinkling. I do apologize. Stop crinkling. He's crinkling still. Go away. That's really loud. Biscuit-related domestic is over, so I do apologise there. I'm leaving all that in. That is staying in the video. Okay, so, right, let's get our canopy forward a little bit here. Now, again, mouse wheel is fantastic for this aircraft. What I was trying to explain to you on takeoff roll there was that the aircraft has a lot of torque. The 1830 engine puts out 1200 horsepower, and that is the same engine you'll find in the DC-3, by the way, just two of them. Now, that engine is great, but torque is big. Now, the torque means that the aircraft will tip itself onto one of the wheels, the left main in this case, as you pick up speed. So you have to give it some right aileron on takeoff roll. A bit like the Spitfire, that does exactly the same thing with the Big Merlin, but you'll find you have to give it some right aileron roll on takeoff just to keep it straight and level, both main gear planted firmly on the ground. And then you'll be alright. But you've got to make sure you just take that into account. It's not a big thing to worry about, but it's definitely a factor to consider. That you need to make sure you are just on top of it. The aircraft will do it as a bit of a strange tendency, but it's very realistic. It's the power. Now, obviously the F6 being one of the bigger comparisons to this aircraft in terms of the war, it replaced the F4, of course. Now the F6, Flying Iron already made one. That's lovely, wonderful aircraft, fantastic simulation. That has the R2800 engine. Now that you'll find in the A26 Invader and the F7 as well, big twin engine aircraft. But the 2800 is a 2200 horsepower engine, so there's a 1000 horsepower difference between this and an F6. So that's a big difference, which is why that has so much better climb performance and dogfighting ability. Now we'll climb up over the top of the mountain here, enjoying a bit of Molokai. Just flying this around is a very enjoyable experience because it's a very interesting aircraft to operate. It's not complicated, but it's also not particularly simple either. It being a World War II aircraft, they are practical above all else, I think is probably the best way to describe it. I will say they've done a jolly good job with this one. I really do struggle to find reasons to be upset about it. I could look at every nuance of every possible texture permutation and say that that's a little blurry there, but how often am I looking right at the edge of the frame? I'm not. I think one of the big things in my time flying this aircraft since getting hold of a copy has been something they could add as a feature in the future. Map chart table. This is underused. Other than our little list of stuff there, none of this does anything. It doesn't do anything. Now give us either an aviation Ouija board, like a proper one, because that'd be funny, make it answer questions, or, in a serious question, look at what we've got here. If I open my flow, and I open the VFR map, Zobo, we get this. It's not a particularly crazy GPS screen, is it? But it's a moving map. What if we had a black and white version of this on the chart table as like almost a rudimentary nod to this is the modern aviation world we have to navigate somehow, and also, oh, this is pretty. And also, it would look very period in World War II. You could pretend it's, you know, charts or make them look like charts, you know, give it a different appearance almost. Yes, it's probably an overly complicated system to make a moving map to go there, but it'd be really cool to be able to actually have charts or maps down there and actually use the map tray for something. Or at least even have... And this is the difference here between Flying Iron and, for example, this. This doesn't have any kind of, at least wing hold, level hold, rudimentary autopilot system. You could put... You've got the little compass on there. You could make that work. You could give it a couple of little check marks or boxes and give it a couple of little extra functions. We're going to go down here. Because this looks fun. Whee! Woohoo! And we're not even overspeeding that hard. Like, this thing will dance. This will really dance. And the sounds are great. I'll give them that. There we go, along the coastline here. The Hawaii Islands definitely suit flying American carrier-based fighters. Did I turn on my gun sight? I don't think I did. Or is it just super bright? Oh, it's on now. There we go. Gun sight! Daka 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 daka. Oh, I forgot I don't have a certain switch turned on in my cockpit, which would be... If I could reach behind my control... There we go. Hee hee! Let's shoot things. Now, I do have the wrong one on here. I have, like, toggle rather than momentary for the pedestal light, which is why I get that kind of... You should be able to just hold it and have it come on, basically. Whereas I have it click and then click to go off. But I should be able to have it as a hold option if I went for momentary. Ah, those traces look fantastic. I love it. To me, that's a huge part of why this is such a cool aircraft. Okay, we're currently heading kind of north, which is fine. We need to be heading more to the kind of northwest-ish direction. Let's climb up over this. And head towards where the Lexington is. We'll have a bit of a jump out on the straight towards Ohio. I keep wanting to call it Ohio. I know it's not Ohio. Do apologise for that. But you know what sometimes these words could be like. Okay, so that's our direction over there. We'll pass back across the airport where we took off from. I must say, it really is a fun aircraft. The little vibration effects make such a big difference. They add that little subtle nuance, I think, to it. What are my temperatures looking like? They're pretty warm, so... Wrong button. Okay, flaps half open. There we go. Cowl flaps half. Which has them there. That's good for us. Wonderful. Alright, so we're ballpark straight and level here. The aircraft really does hold itself nicely. Like, I'm just sitting here. We're descending a little bit, so I'll give it a bit of trim for the nose up. And get it to stay a bit more kind of positive here. And... she will hold pretty nicely. There we go, a little bit too nose up, but she's wings level, very stable, very easy aircraft to kind of get hold of. You can probably get up and go to the bathroom or make a cup of tea like this, if you don't have your own in-flight delivery system. That is the... I forget the name of that channel, but it is a channel particularly in question. We're going to roll a bit further to the north here, and there's the airport we took off from. So we're going to basically be back in a minute once we jaunt out across the ocean, because there's nothing you're going to want to see of me crossing open ocean. So we will see you in a few moments once we get out, or very imminently, now. Okay, so we're approaching Ohio. There's Honolulu down there, and behind this large cloud, a very appropriate cloud, is Pearl Harbor, kind of just behind Honolulu and Honolulu International. Lexington should be over here somewhere. So we're going to roll over to port and take a look for the old Lexi. See if we can spot her down there under the cloud. Possibly off our 10 o'clock. Yep, there she is. There's Lexington, right there. Coming through to 11 right now. No. Forward quarter window. Now I think she is bow to land. That's Honolulu right there. So that means the island should be on the far side. Oh no, she might be... No, she's bow out to the sea. There should be more deck at the rear of the island than there is at the front, so I think she's bow that way, meaning our stern will be over there. So we're kind of approaching towards the downwind here, so we'll nose more towards the bow. And we'll do a couple of landings here on Lexington, really take a look at how this thing behaves on the carrier deck. We'll do some unassisted takeoffs as well. We've always got the assist, but we're not going to do a catapult launch with this thing. It really doesn't need it. Although we are going to crack our canopy open here because it's a bit warm in this one. Nice and open, and we've got the drop tanks on still, so we'll get rid of those. There go the tanks away. I love the effects on those. Well, there's Lexington. So we'll bring our power back here. We dove a little quicker than I'd liked. And we'll roll her over to starboard. And that is us. That's the island to the side. So we're on downwind here for a landing. Okay, our speed is down nicely from that turn. So we'll drop our gear here and we'll come in for a landing. And hopefully, if we trap early enough, we'll be able to do a takeoff straight away. And we'll do a couple of circuits. Then if we're lucky, we might head over to... we'll see what time we have. Okay, give it one notch of flaps here. Wonderful. Roll around. Now, carrier landings are hard. You have to... You're landing essentially on a tabletop because there's a big drop-off at the start of the runway. Plus, in real life, they're moving, which makes them even more harder, which saves you some speed, but at the same time, it's also pitching up and down, so you have to factor that in. That is one thing I'd love to see in a sim one day, is a pitching deck that I'm going to have to work out how to land on. Oh crap. Wave off. My tail hook wasn't down. I would have touched down and then done nothing at all. Power, power, power. I was way too late to touch down after I realised the hook was still up. I'm not used to doing naval aviation, so it just isn't something I consider, unfortunately. Okay. Bring it back around again. What we'll do is we'll touch down here, then we'll head across to Pearl, and we'll touch down at the Lexington there. It'd be different carriers in real life, wouldn't it? But it'd be nice just to do a couple of different landings. This is very steep. Let's assist us down. Come on, down we go. This is a dumbass AvAngel moment. Yeah. Too high, too fast, too AvAngel. This is more like what you expected. I nailed it in the review video because I was taking it seriously. Now I'm not. And that first approach would have been good. Except I happened. And I'm probably going to happen again. Third time the charm? We'll find out. I hope. I know the crew are probably fed up with me already. Right. Now we should be good. So we're a little bit high, so we'll power down here and let some of this burn off as we turn. And let ourselves drop down here. We're dropping some altitude. Okay. Speed is a little quick. Gear is good. Flaps are good. Oh god. Is it? Oh no, it's not good. Well, we trapped because we have the tow hook down, but I forgot I turned this to incremental. So the gear was in fact up because I did this and nothing happened. Because I can... God damn it. Yep. God damn... Well, we trapped, but that's about it. We bent the aeroplane pretty well. Love the crash animations. Definitely looks appropriate. I am le dumbass, as we have established. So let's try and fix the plane, shall we? There we go. Oh look, it's perfectly fine again because it restores itself on preparedness. So we're primed. We're good to go there. Let's see if we're going to start the engine back up again and pretend none of this ever happened. Wonderful, wonderful. Nothing ever happened. Nothing went wrong in the slightest. Tail hook up. We are lined up generally with the runway, so that's a good start. We quickly look over here. Yeah, we're kind of lined up. There we go. Now in position for where we'd be doing a takeoff from, probably a little bit further back actually, because we're right over the rear of the aircraft. So we'll pull forward to here, where there's at least aircraft parked up on the sides. We're beside the island. So that should do. It should be able to take off. Everything else is configured. Flaps are retracting because they were out. We do not need flaps to take off. They're going away very slowly, but they are in fact going away, so that's a good start. Okay, prop is full fine. The little red rocket has disappeared, so it's time to hit it. Ugh! Hi, you pick your tail up real easy, don't you? You hussy. What? Okay, we're up. Gear coming up. And away we go. Yippee-ki-yay. Alright, off towards Pearl Harbor and to the Lexington, where we're not going to stuff this landing up anywhere near as badly. We'll do it just fine. So we'll get this closed. At least that much. We'll leave it cracked open. It's a little bit cooler. And this should see us across Honolulu there, so we'll drop it back on the mag. There. Now I do have the manual. The manual comes in the folder with the aircraft, so we should be able to review that at our leisure. And it'll give us all our numbers. In fact, I'm going to do that quite now. Because would it be me if I didn't skip reading the manual? I don't think it would it? It would never be me. But they include documentation, including a full working manual for our little friend here, the F4. So as we cruise towards Honolulu, I shall peruse it. Checklists. Ooh, I do like checklists. We have a lovely, well-typed, in very period typeface. I'm going to review the manual right now. So it's typed in period. Oh, by the way, one thing I wanted to point out is, some of you mentioned 3 guns per side. 6 guns is not appropriate for the F4F-4. Actually, it is. When they took out the motors from the wingfold mechanism and the motor from the gear extension, they actually had extra weight. So in true American fashion, they added more DACA. Because more guns are better. So they had a 6 in most cases. So our manual, wonderful, yes, with the earlier Twin Wasp 1830. 2 rows of 14 cylinders. Now, in terms of our data, we have all our data in there. Wonderful. Our V-speeds are great. And virtual cockpit, all those wonderful indications, yes. Very detailed virtual cockpit description here. And the instructions of all our toggly doodahs. Very, very, very well written there. It's pink and black and white. It's very easy to read, good contrast. Should be perfectly safe if you have colour blindness, for example. There's literally everything you could possibly want in a manual. It is fantastic. And here we are over Honolulu. Those things are getting a little chunky. Ooh, hello. A big crater. I like craters. Craters look cool. I'm expecting this to be the War Thunder map now, and everything to go horribly wrong in a second. But we should be just fine. I really want to fly down. I'm going to fly down that, aren't I? I can't help myself. It has to occur. I simply must War Thunder on a War Thunder map. There we go. Oh, I should have flown through that. You know what? We're gonna. I can't avoid it. The opportunity to fly through a building is far too high. Oh god, I'm going to explode in a second. If I'm not very careful here. There it is. Okay, that's the building. Need to go back here and come at this from another angle. The sim really did not like me trying to pull those maneuvers over Honolulu. So we'll peel out to the left here, we'll spin around, follow that back in. There we go, bit of a high G turn, bring it around. Power off, drop it down, sight my target, which I can't quite make out. Come out to the angle, there it is, behind that building. Oh, that's a slither I'm going to have to fit through. There you are, come on. What's my exit after I get through this? Oh! Will I clip something? Probably. Possibly. I fly like a dumbass because it's fun. There's plenty of time to fly seriously, and this is not it. Sometimes the best kind of testing you can do with an aircraft is to just push its limits, even if it's unrealistic. Because it's a sim, and we have to get our best experience is from just doing things that are a bit crazy. Why? Because it's fun. We have a lot more fun this way. And we can really experience what the aircraft could truly give us. In this case, being an idiot. I sound like I'm defending myself, and I am. It's much more fun this way. Like I say, I have my serious flights where I'll go off and I'll do incredibly serious flights of business. But there are other times where you've got something like this, where I just want to have a blast. Cruise ship down there. I'd love to go to Hawaii, except it's hot, so stuff that. Right, Wake should be... not Wake, sorry. Pearl should be over here. And I'm pretty sure it's Lexington dead ahead, or just on our 1 o'clock there, still in the gun sight there. So right here. That should be our second Lexington, in fact. That is Honolulu International. Right there. Meaning that's the entrance to Wake... not Wake, sorry, Pearl Harbor right behind it. And we'll have Battleship Row. We'll have Ford Naval Air Station in the middle. And that is the Lexington right now, just coming up in our left window. So that will be our final stopping point today. We've hit one building, destroyed one set of landing gear, one propeller, and disappointed quite a lot of parrots on Molokai. And terrified some people through downtown Honolulu. This has been an incredibly successful journey. And I can safely say to you that they've done a really good job. Like, this is fun. This is easy to fly, it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's exciting. It's a very well made aircraft. Let's get that fully open. Yep, there she is. So I'll pull the power back here. There's Ford Naval Air Station in the middle, right there. I think Battleship Row is there. So that would be the Arizona Memorial, I think. We'll give her a wing roll as we come in. I know that we're going to be flying down the right traffic for Lexington here, so we'll do this just because it's where the Arizona is. And I want to pay my respects to the Arizona and to everyone that died in the attack on Pearl Harbor. Maybe it's a bit of a somber switch for what we were just having fun with, but it was a tragic event. Really, really tragic. Yeah, there it is. And that's the Missouri, I think. Let's give her a wing waggle. Rest well, Arizona, and everybody else. And there's Missouri. Mighty Mo herself. The big beast, the Iowa class. That thing is a monster. Alright, that is enough faffing around. Let's go turn around and put it on deck, shall we? Yeah, we're using naval terms. Because we're a naval fighter. Sometimes the sim scenery doesn't look fantastic in places. I wish they'd someone upgrade Pearl Harbor. Maybe not even 40s version, but even a better looking now version. Because this is kind of tragic for 2020 flight sim. The water masking is definitely kind of mid, I'll be honest. Do you make circuits of carrier decks this way? You don't, but we're doing it anyway because it's a video, and I don't mind. I won't tell if you won't. Tailhook is down this time. Gear is confirmed down. I'm pretty sure I'm meant to be able to see it somehow, but I can't. Alright. In we come. That water looks disgusting in terms of sim detail. Off to one side, let's re-level this. Boom! And we stopped. Nice! I'm not incompetent, who knew? Yay! Ah, there we go. And we'll kill the engine on deck here on Lexington. And we must have caught one of the early wires because we stopped right there. So, jolly good job. Well, again, one building, one aeroplane, several scared downtown Honoluluans, multiple splattered parrots. Successful journey. Thank you for joining me. And I hope we're quite as sick now, so we should be good. Bye.